I mean, I'm talking this whole time clean on mute. Check this out. Welcome to another Full Transparency Trading Session where I'm your boy Sebastian. We done messed up, but we're gonna go ahead and walk you through this trade here. I guess I can show you the setup. So first off, we're risking $1,500, which is 60 ticks. I know 1,500 seems like a lot, but I have 5 mini contracts in there. Normally I would risk 750, but 750 would put me on this line, so I went ahead and doubled it up so that I can have the 1,500 to make sure I have more than enough clearance room. My target is $2,000, so I have to put in 2090 because of the 5 contracts. As you can see, my risk to reward down here at the bottom. We're gonna go positive because the trend is up right now, but after 8:30 we had a little bit of a pullback, so that's what I was looking at. I put myself on the line, which is inside of the support level. All of this down here is manipulation. We're on the 1 minute time frame, which is why it looks the way that it does. Now what I'm looking for is for us to draw up this candle about 50% of the move overall to this line right here on the left hand side, and you just have to wait. Now unfortunately with Top Step X, you can't release this, because if you do, you'll just take whatever profit or negative that you have at the time. So that's why you see my mouse holding that, and I'm trying to slide it back and forth so I can read the numbers as to where we're at. But the key is to always lock in first at $500. If I have 5 contracts and I'm risking 1,500, I want to lock in a third of that profit as we work our way up. We weren't gonna make it back to 2001 one clean sweep. I'll go to the internet in a minute to show you that we weren't gonna make it a one clean sweep. And I'm just looking at right here where you see me going down below the 200 EMA. How far down below the 200 EMA is that? My initial entry is where that is. That's fine. Once we meet how far it's wicked down, I'll go ahead and start locking in some profit. I'll lock in at $300 first, just because I want to ensure that I get at least $300 out of the trade, and that no matter what, we no longer go negative. And then as it starts to rip up towards this 23 EMA right here and break that 23 EMA, we'll start to get a bit of a trend change. And it's really just it's a waiting game. You know, it stinks, but once it starts going your way, it's going to go your way pretty quickly, and you just got to wait it out. But that $1,500, at the same token, you have to be willing to lose it if they do this. Like, let's say the market's going up and down and up and down and up and down like it is right now, right? And let's say they decide to wick it out, manipulate really hard to the downside to 30, then that will wick me out of $1,500. So you need more than enough breathing room in your account so that you can account for whatever you're willing to lose. So if you are willing to lose $1,500, you got way more than at least 10 times that in the account. You're not going to lose $1,500 and all you got in your account is $1,500, okay? And I feel like that's what a lot of people do when they come in here with gambling and stuff like that, is they'll risk everything that they've made, and you never want to wipe out a great week or a great day or whatever the case is. Now I see that the trend has switched in my favor. I could have added more contracts when this first blue candle formed and we pulled back to my area, but I said no, we'll just keep it. So now you see me lock in 300. Why do you see me lock in 300? Because I realize that it is about to be 840 and we are about to get a very aggressive push to the upside. So now I'm just looking at different areas to lock in where I can hold profits. Once we cross $900, we'll lock in 800. So we've seen that that's 991. I went above it to see where 1,000 was, and now I'm gonna come down and lock in the 790 or $800, and then we're gonna wick back to the 790.
Order filled.
Right here where it said order filled. Perfectly great trade though when you think about it. We got 790 of the possible 800, 900 before the sharp pullback. That's a really, really good trade. And then of course it's gonna pull back a little bit and finish the run, but the run may take until all the way at 9 o'clock, and I don't want to sit and wait the extra 20 minutes. But that's pretty much what happened in this trade. I thought I was recording the voice, but apparently not. But you see that we started out with drawdown at $500. You got to be comfortable with drawdown. All of these manipulations here, you know there's going to be some serious drawdown, and that's why I gave myself double my normal range. But you guys have a great day. This has been another Full Transparency trading session. We'll do some more trades like this and stuff later on. And on the positive side, we basically doubled what the drawdown was, almost making it to $1,000. So that's another sign of a positive trade. But we've been doing this all night long. We've been pulling back to this point, and then we've been drawing up. And I knew that if we're gonna get a higher low, we weren't gonna get down here. So that's why I said, let me go ahead and put 1,500 and get in at the 200 EMA. At the time, the 200 EMA was where I was, which gave me confidence that this was a good line to get to. You know, and you will have to suffer through some up and down and stuff like that during your trade. So just be prepared for that. And if you're doing micros, same thing. You know, same exact style thing. 5 micros, 2 micros, whatever the case is. Understand how far down the drawdown is, understand how far they're manipulating, and you need to be below that manipulation. Y'all have a great day, and I'll check y'all in the next one. Enjoy your weekends. Take you guys back over to the internet side of things really quickly. As you can see, my trade where I got out right here was the absolute perfect moment to ride to the 50% way. So we knew that we would get to about 50%. Obviously, it put back to my entry, which would have been another opportunity to go in 5 more contracts and then get another $1,200 out of this. But that is where managing your greed comes in, right? You need to say, like, hey, what is enough for my particular trade? Now, when it comes to adding more contracts, I started that trade with 3 contracts. I had already added 2, so we went to 5. I could have gone as high as 15. I'm not worried about getting to 15 contracts. I'm worried about making a solid trade. So you have to ask yourself, like, what's good enough in this particular trade? 5 contracts. Let's say I want to make $100 per contract in that particular trade. So once I locked in $500, that's already a good trade for me. But with the idea of having 5 contracts in there and wanting to get to $2,000, that's the goal. That's my take profit target, right? But realistically, if you can get to 1,000, that's half of your overall goal. If you can get to a third of your overall goal, which is the $700 mark, you know, that's great too. So you at least want to get 25 to like 30% of your overall take profit in your trade if possible. But sometimes just take whatever the market is giving you, because you don't want to sit there and hold for more and then all of a sudden it pulls all the way back like it did, and now you go negative again and you're not sure whether or not it's going to go back up. And a lot of times that's the case. Once a trend changes, it will not go back up. See, now we're forming lower highs as we head into the 9 o'clock hour. So that's why I said take the easy money and lock in profit. Now, when it was going up and down, you see I didn't lock in profit because that's a very volatile moment where it's deciding if it's going to go to the next level. Had it went back down to my $500, I was perfectly okay with that. But it's deciding if it's going to push up to the next level. Once they've decided that they're going to break out to the next level, now you'll start to get a bit of a gain. It's going to be a little bit more expedient. It's going to go faster, the gain. So, that being said, you guys know the motto. Take the easy money. You guys have a great weekend, and I will check you out in the next one. This has been another Full Transparency Trading Session where I'm your boy, Sebastian, and I'm out.